y'all want to see what Kasha looks like, kind of goes. Oh shit. Okay, so look, maybe I like swords a little more than most people, but that's because I play video games and I also got the DPS bug like everyone else. Okay. This is really awkward. I'm in a tent. Getting this camera where it is, that was a pain in the ass. I'll probably never do this again. So, I've debated talking about Arlington for a long time because I don't dislike Arlington as a person. I like him as a person. It's one of those things where you separate a person from their work. I can also separate a person from the way they play a game. Arlington was in charge of the Solaris link shell, the first main link shell that I was part of. And he was a psychotic Mithra Dark Knight. Now, I'm fairly good at profiling people. I wish I wasn't, because it takes a lot of the mystery out of getting to know people. But 90% of people who play Mithra in Final Fantasy XI were crazy. Full stop. Not all of y'all, but an overwhelming majority of y'all crazy. DPS, they were crazy. If you played Dark Knight, you were probably one of the craziest. Arlington was a psychopath. Just to give you a little bit of extra seasoning, when we played Final Fantasy XIV version 1 together, that atrocity that I paid $80 for the special edition day 1 version of, he was always crafting like, level 47 armor for my tank, and I'm like, bro, I'm level 28. I'm gonna lose all my money repairing this thing, because I'm interesting how you could equip stuff that was higher level than you in version 1, but also repair costs were so high, why would you do it? But he would always yell at me for not wearing the armor he crafted me, and it's like, yeah, you know what, I would love to wear the armor you crafted for me, Steven. The problem is you're crafting stuff that's 20 levels above me. But he's like, no, you have to do it, you have to rep our guild so people want to use our services. And I'm like, there it is, that right there. The over-efficiency curse of people who only play DPS. Now check it out. I played everything. I played tank. Multiple tank. I played every tank, even ninja, even though I didn't like playing it as a tank. I liked playing it as a DPS. There it is again, right? But as a tank, you look at all these other factors. You look at, I have to stack up on vitality, defense, max HP, MP recovery if you're a paladin. Healers and mages have all kinds of stuff to worry about. Melee DPS, all they have to worry about is my TP at 100 yet? By the way, TP used to go like 100, 200, 300, and that was it. It was pretty stupid. It's much better now. But Arlington, he said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, and to this day, Steven, I'm sorry, it is still one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anyone say. He said a paladin should only use their MP when the white mage is out of MP, because he wanted his tank, Dio, to always be able to use a weapon skill, so he could skill chain off of it, and then magic burst off of his own skill chain. And he would get mad when paladins would self-heal themselves to maintain aggro, and insist there's no reason to do that. You should just be swinging your sword so you can get TP to do weapon skills, because damage is all that matters. I started to understand that, though, when I got myself Soboro Tsukihiro. To this day, and I have played many games, I started on the Commodore 64, okay? I have a photograph, and they still had like the date and the orange digital numbers in the corner. Me and my brother playing a Commodore 64 when I probably knew like 10 words, man. I have played many games. I've wielded many overpowered things in them. But no singular weapon in any game has ever been more broken than the Soburo Sukiro. It says occasionally attacks 2 to 3 times, but it pretty much always attacks 2 to 3 times. When I got to level 49, I was 1 level away. Like, I get the Soburo, I get the level 50 armor from the Subliger with the store TP plus 9 on it. Oh man, there's so much good stuff at level 50 for Samurai, including an actually good weapon skill, Jinpu, finally. I'm about to get up ons. And I have my LFG flag up on Samurai. 5 days, I never got an invite. And I'm like, no, I'm 1 level away. It's not fair. I need it. I know how good it is. I started that 6th day with 2.7 million gil. I went on White Mage sub, went outside of Tabnazian safe hold. By the end of the day, I had 20,000 gil. I spent it all on Yagudo drinks. I'm probably funded a lot of people's characters that were starting cooking. But yes, I spent over 2 million gil on Yagudo drinks. I kept buying them, kept buying vile elixirs. I just went and soloed 14 EXP at a time until I got to level 50. Then Lasis logged on. He hadn't logged on all week, and he's like, oh, dude, your Samurai's level 50. Hey, you want to join our static party? And I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, I have one of these. And Moncari was like, yeah, I got one of those, but I was already level 75. You dinged into that thing? I'm like, yep. We're going to go grind on Colibri with this thing over in that Ergen area. I remember Moncari getting so mad at me because he was doing Dragoon. Because, you know, if you didn't have a static party for Dragoon, you probably were never going to level it up. And he was like, I want to get everything 75. I want that max cap, bro. But I'll never get Dragoon anywhere unless I'm in a static party. And it's like, let's go. Now, you know, Moncari was one of those people who, like, had infinite money at all times. He had everything you could ever want. He played with Japs all day. And he's a Dragoon. So he's got that piercing damage bonus against Colibri. I did not. And I remember him getting so pissed off at me that he's just like, how is it that you're over here just like throwing off all these weapon skills and you never get aggro? And I jump once, it steals my food and then kills me. It's like, it wasn't just that the Soburo Sukiro was overpowered. It was overpowered in a unique way that did not deal its damage in a large enough burst to pull its aggro off of a tank. That was the absolute beauty of it. It completely towed that line that every Dark Knight constantly crosses over between doing way too much damage all of a sudden and throwing the party into chaos. And I am doing the perfect amount of damage to make the party flow perfectly functionally fine. Everyone is getting skill chains off. Even the red mage is getting magic bursts off because they're just popping off all day. And the aggro is just balancing everywhere, just enough so the tank is always peeking out. He got so furious at me. I kept using that thing all the way to level 75. Because eventually I had to solo my last 3 levels with Dancer as a sub job, with Soburo, and Gabus up in the top of Boyata Tree. Oh man, that was just one of the most legendary weapons, and that was when it finally dawned on me. I understand the thrill of DPS now. I get why they're all a bunch of criminally insane psychopaths. But again, not all of them. Not all of them, Merlin. Just 90% of them like the Mithras. If you're a Mithra DPS, ooh. Debating. Yeah, why not? I dated a multi-millionaire's daughter I met over this game one time. And yeah, she played DPS. I regret everything about it. I don't want to really say any more than that. I regret everything about it. All of my instincts are always telling me, like, boost, you know, like Peppy from Star Fox 64. You gotta trust your instincts. Use the boost to get through. I didn't. I hit the brakes at the wrong time with the wrong person because I didn't just remember all DPS are psychopaths. She was also a sociopath. There was a point she tried to get an apartment next to me, even though she had a house that she was living in just fine. She didn't have any problems there. But she was thinking, I think I'm going to get an apartment next to your house so I have a place closer to you. And I asked her, like, how are you going to afford that? And she's just like, oh, I have Daddy's gold card. And I'm like, oh, that's what kind of person you are. That explains a lot about everything. Then she stole my $250 watch when she ran away back to Northern California. I was really good about making women run away from me. Ha! That's why I'm with my wife. She came to me. But it's just this funny thing I've noticed is that people who only play DPS in any game, they're crazy. People who play tanks, usually pretty cool people. Usually. There's also that 10% of selfish pricks like Gesper. Oh, wow. I feel like I could drink bull urine to wash the taste out of my mouth right now, actually. You know what? Why not? We're just talking about... I'm super high right now. I don't even care. Let's talk about Gesper. See? I wasn't playing. Ugh. It's like ammonia in my mouth. This guy... He was some 40-year-old groomer. Trying to pick up on chicks on 11. And he's part of the reason Victalisa, who I have another video about, he's part of the reason she got so addicted to that game, because he paid her more attention than her boyfriend did. Because Rob was trying to study for a bar exam to become a lawyer while she was failing all of her classes. There's a whole video about that. Or for some reason, I never said anything. It's one of those horrible things in retrospect you look back on and it's like, wow, there's plenty of corrupt cops who use the badge to, you know, do some pretty horrible things. Gesper had that kind of mentality. He was that kind of person of just like, oh, I'm a tank. Everyone relies on me. I'm a trustworthy person. Hey, you want to see pictures of my dick? That kind of person. You know what I'm saying? No, he was a freaking scumbag, and I really regret not exposing him. I've been staring at the light on this phone for so long that, like, when I look off to the side, I'm seeing, like, a little bubble bobble dragon right now. It's pretty cute, actually. But, anyway, I'm probably going to ramble on forever, but my point remains. DPS are all a bunch of psychopaths. And, oh, yeah. This is not on the script. This is the thing I was just adding in at the last minute. Agent D, you're an effing retard, okay? Ever since that one expansion came out where we could make the custom armor piece, and I played Paladin, and you played Dark Knight, but by that point in the game, that's what we had solidified ourselves as. I was a Paladin, you were a Dark Knight, you know, level 80 cap and all that crap. And it's like, oh man, we could put whatever 2 stats we want on this thing. Heck yeah. I'm like, dude, make sure you got put fast cast on that thing. I put enmity +5 fast cast on mine because, like, why wouldn't you? Because I play Paladin. But he's like, I'm gonna put accuracy +10 and attack +10 on it. And I'm like, dude, that's a Habergion without the evasion -20 on it. That's all it is. You're a Dark Knight. You have a D in evasion. You are never going to dodge anything. You put a... Why? Put fast cast on it. You know, I'm still mad at you over that, Mike. All these years, for some reason, like, I love you to death. Don't get me wrong. You helped me through the death of my father like no one else ever did, because you were the only person who was honest with me about what it's like to actually deal with the death of a parent. I love you for that, and I always will. But you're a retard. You put attack and accuracy on that thing, dude. Play Dark Knight. Put fast cast on it. For all the absorb accuracy, absorb TP, frickin' absorb strength 2, drain 2, asper 2, all of that time you're going to spend casting the good juice. You could be speeding that up and getting back into swinging your scythe faster and getting TP. Oh my god. I am Arlington. Shit.